The roads that wind through the mountains of Colorado offer breathtaking views. But while Greg Giffen and a friend were driving through a river canyon near Longmont, Colorado, the serene beauty of the area was suddenly shattered. Much of the footage in this story was taped as the events unfolded on June 14, 1995.
My roommate James and I were driving down to Denver to see a Colorado Rockies game. Colorado had an unusual amount of snow this winter, so the river was particularly high. The road was pretty curvy. There was a white car in front of us. And as we made a left-hand turn, the car really didn't seem to straighten out.
What the heck was that?
Wyatt Sims and his brother Chris lived nearby.
There's a car in the river.
We heard a noise. It sounded like a crunch or a whap, and then a slide, something sliding on a rock.
The car was stuck in the middle of the river. Water was rushing all around it.
There were two ladies in the car. There was no way that they could get out. They would have been swept away with the current immediately.
I got a rope. Don't move around.
The car was precariously balanced. It looked like it could at any minute go.
Are you hurt?
The first rescue worker to arrive was Boulder County Sheriff Sergeant Tom McGrath.
You're going to be all right.
The nose is lodged down towards the river, and the river is pouring over it. If it had come loose from the rock, the vehicle then would be at the mercy of the river. I had no idea if there were any injuries. We couldn't establish clear enough communications to know one way or the other.
The specially trained volunteer swiftwater rescue team arrived soon after.
They slipped 2 life jackets and 2 helmets onto the rope.
Longmont Emergency Unit Dive Chief Mike Wasson took charge at the scene.
Than the one in the front seat, okay? I think hypothermia is a part of it, but we're not getting any response from the woman in front.
They were elderly women. From the looks in their eye, I could tell that they were extremely scared. We shot a line over to the other side of the river. My plan was to get them out using the Zodiac raft.
To put more people in the river, even experienced people in that kind of a current, is very risky. The car was filling up with water. The water was very cold. It doesn't take long before your body goes numb. My prayer was that they were, they were just going to be safe. Wyatt and I were told what the signals were and how to pull the ropes.
The chief of the unit gave the command to move the raft.
We had a total of 5 ropes out to that boat. It went out very deliberate. Nobody made a move without everybody else knowing the move that was going to be made.
The car was unstable.
I knew in that water that the rope would snap. If the car should happen to start moving.
I told the lady in the back seat I was going to pull her out. The victim that was in the front of the car, she just looked at me and then buried her head back into the seat. She looked extremely relieved. At the same time, she was still scared.
Shirley Murin was pulled to safety after being trapped in the freezing water for more than 45 minutes.
When I looked up at the rescuer, to me he was the most beautiful sight I had ever seen. My legs hurt so bad, I could hardly walk. It was very hard knowing that Norma was still in there. At one point, she did lay her head down and start to go to sleep. And I told her, I yelled at her, I said, Norma, wake up. I said, you're not going to do this to me. I was afraid that I was afraid she was going to die. That she was just going to drift off and die.
Each time that boat was brought across there, it was a fight, a struggle. It took all of our strength to hold it there.
The second victim really concerned me the most. I wasn't sure of how injured she was because she wasn't talking to me at all. So I didn't know if she would be able to get out of the window. I broke the window and that water started rushing in. I was really concerned at that time that the car was going to move again on us. I didn't have the time or the luxury to try to be as easy with her as I would like to, so I just, as forcefully as I could, start pulling her out of the car. She was slipping out. The force of the river was just too strong for us. We were so relieved to get her into the raft. I was asking her, are you okay? And she kept talking to me and patting me on the head and kept thanking me and saying that, you know, I was the most handsome thing she ever saw. And I told her, I said, there's a lot of handsome young men that's going to help her up the bank.
I think these women are very lucky. It was an amazing rescue response. All of the people worked together, from the first sheriff that arrived on the scene to the last. We still had the car to deal with. But the people's lives had been saved.
That's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. I don't know how she can do those sunflower things.
Shirley and her friend Norma Chin were treated at a nearby hospital and released the same day.
I don't know what happened. I wish I knew. I heard Shirley holler, and I can remember hitting the water, nosedive down. I I couldn't say a thing. I was completely entombed in water. I do know that I kept saying the Lord's Prayer over again. I thought I was saying it to myself, and Shirley said I was saying it out loud.
I was scared because I don't know how to swim, but someone had to be the strong one.
She was my sole support. When I saw her go through that window, I was all alone. I had nobody. It's the most difficult moment in my whole life.
There's no way I could thank those people enough for putting their life on the line to come and rescue us. I'm just so thankful that God made people like them.
Michael's face was the first face that I looked up and I saw, and like I said, I will never forget you, and I swear.
It's a real good feeling to see both of them today because they've been given a gift and you've been a part of that. I don't think it's something I'll ever forget.
Everybody please call me Grandma. Okay, Grandma. I've been in the water. I didn't enjoy it. I'll tell you one true thing. I'll never go river rafting with anyone. Want to go for a ride tomorrow?
We've seen the bad side of each other. We've seen the good side of each other. There's a bond that, for me, that will never be broken. It'll always be a special relationship that she and I have.
This is the best birthday I think I've ever had, which is Saturday, and my birthday told me to do. No!
Next,